Anime fans, Seven Deadly Sins fans, what is good? The answer to that question, of course, is Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins is what's good. And what the heck, Suzuki? What the heck? Ludociel got done so dirty in this series. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Seven Deadly Sins. It's one of my favorite series of all time. But Ludociel's my favorite character, and he got done so dirty, so disrespected by the mangaka and the fanbase. And the story itself is so sad, and I just want to put some respect on his name, and I want to point out how he got done so dirty. So, let's just get into this. I'm not saying this because I'm biased, because he's my favorite character. I'm saying this because it's facts. So, Ludociel was first introduced as the leader of the Four Archangels. Now, the Four Archangels have been hyped up a little bit before that, and the name clicked in our minds. We're like, the Four Archangels, so this is the leader of them. So we're kind of all like, yo, we're expecting a monster. And we did get one. So when the two of the Four Archangels were fighting the Ten Commandments, Tamiel and Sariel, Galland was about to completely pound on Sariel. He was just like about to slam him when 5 beams of light go straight through him, and then Ludociel appears in the most epic way possible, and he's like, nice to meet you, and goodbye. Just a huge flex, so grand, so majestic, so epic, and we're like, so this is the Four Archangels, like this is the leader of the Four Archangels. And then Derriere and Monspeed appeared. Derriere's power level was 52,000 and Monspeed's was 53,000 if I remember correctly. So Monspeed fires some darkness bolts, Ludociel dispels them like the gentle breeze, and then Derriere comes behind him and wants to combo star him, but then he uses his graced Flash and completely flashes behind her, and flashes makes you move so fast, it's like you're teleporting, and then beams her like a beam of light that just destroys her midriff, completely incinerates it, and goes on to incinerate Monspeed's midriff that's like 20 feet behind her. Like, they were pretty far apart, and just an instant, both of them are just wrecked. And so they realize, we can't beat this guy, he's way out of our league, and they undergo their Indra transformations. Now, Ludociel's power level was 201,000, so almost 150,000 beyond Derriere and Monspeed's. So they go under their Indra transformation. Now, I know Indra transformation makes you much, much stronger. Like, you need to be at least 50,000 power level to do it. So it's a pretty powerful technique, and it makes you very, very strong. But once they did that, Ludociel couldn't even make the slightest scratch on them. Even though he was so much stronger than them before, even though he was wrecking them before, as soon as they went under their transformation, he couldn't even put the slightest bruise on them. Now, I'm not saying he had to win the fight, definitely not, but he should have been able to at least hurt them a fraction, because the Indra that the Seven Deadly Sins fought when the Demon Lord and Zeldrich's body summoned it, they destroyed that thing like it was a piece of cake. The only problem was the spawns that it sent, and it was hard to round them all up, but the actual Indra itself, they just completely wrecked it. Like Ground Gladius, you know, Galder sending all his arrows, Bansh just going boom, 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 and they just wrecked that in an instant. As soon as it spawned, we're out of the way. So you know that it's not like it's the ultimate thing. And Ludociel's power level is 201,000, so he's stronger than some of the Sins, or was supposed to be stronger than some of the Sins, yet he could not even touch the Indra transformed Monspeed and Derriere, and they weren't even in their final Indra transformations. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? That was the first time he was done dirty. His power was made a joke of in an instant. Once we actually found out what his power level was and what the Indra was completely, you could just see that he was done so dirty, and it was such an unfair fight, and he was just made a fool of. And then the same thing happened again way later in the story. So, you know, they're fighting Zeldris, Cusack, and Chancellor, right? They're trying to stop Meliodas from becoming the Demon King. And Ludociel got done dirty once again. So Zeldris Escanor takes him out of Dark Nebula. He's going flying. So in the 1 second, literally the 1 split second, the manga said this, literal 1 second, that his powers were deactivated, Ludociel completely wrecks him and does the attack gold shining on him and very badly hurts him. And then he's getting ready to finish him off, and then Cusack gets in between them. Now Cusack's power level is 168,000. Ludociel's is 201,000. Once again, Ludociel could not put the slightest cut on him, not the slightest incision, not the slightest bruise, not even the meekest, smallest sign of hurt was on Cusack. Now that makes no sense whatsoever. I'm not saying that Ludociel had to beat Cusack, because we know Merlin said that power levels aren't everything. Circumstances change cases, and there could be some hidden abilities and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that Ludociel can't even touch him. Ludociel literally made a sword of light and rammed it as hard as he could into Cusack's stomach. There wasn't the slightest hurt. It didn't even penetrate in the smallest way possible, not even the most minuscule of wounds. It just didn't go through at all when Ludociel is supposed to be 33,000 more power level than Cusack. That's just being done so dirty. That's his power being made fun of again. His power and his hype was completely made a joke of. How is that fair and how is that right? Because at that point, why make his power level 201,000 and why hype him up so much? I know that power levels aren't everything, but why hype him up to that level if you're going to drag him down from it? Just why? And now I know some of you might say, well, when he was fighting the first demon, Escanor couldn't even touch that guy, and then Ludociel was hurting him and blocking him. But don't forget, the first demon's power was Crisis. The more he was hurt, the more his life was shaved off, the more his power grows in proportion. So he was most likely, or maybe not most likely, but it's not unreasonable to say that the first demon was letting Ludociel hurt him so he could grow more in power. In fact, I'd say that that's very likely, because how would Ludociel be able to hurt the first demon if he can't even touch Cusack? How? So he just got done so dirty in both those instances, and those two instances were enough where he is now a joke. His power is a joke, and the community even makes fun of him sometimes, or maybe not even sometimes, maybe a lot of the time. But that wasn't all. You might say, how could Ludociel be done dirty again? Why would he be done dirty again? I don't know why, but I know how. So my man is dying. He's a changed man. He wants the war to stop. He let Hendrickson live, and he's helped the Sins. He's saved their lives when the Demon King was sending that attack at them and gave Ban enough time to save them. So he saved their lives. And he's dying. He's in Mael's arms. Or Mael, I'm not sure. I just say Mael. But he's in Mael's arms. He's dying. He's fading away. And Elizabeth says all touchy-feely, "You sacrificed your life to protect everyone. Thank you, Ludociel." And then Mael's like, "Brother." And that was it. None of them cried. Not a single one of them cried. And Ludociel is Mael's older brother. And we know Mael looked up to Ludociel, even though from our perspective Ludociel was evil, at least at the time 3,000 years ago. But Mael always respected and looked up to his older brother. He said the fact that Ludociel was proud of him made him happy. And the only thing missing was Elizabeth. So we know that Mael loved his brother very much. Not a single tear. Not a single tear was made. Not a single tear was shed. And Elizabeth, as soon as she said that, out. Ludociel was out her mind. She didn't care. She forgot. That was the end of it. She did not give two flying eagle feathers about his passing. And the rest of them, they didn't even notice. Like, they didn't even notice he died, and nobody cared whatsoever. So in the end, when he died, nobody cared, and even his own brother didn't shed a tear for him, even though he was a changed man, and he saved their lives on more than one occasion. Like, Hendrickson shed a tear, I believe. In fact, Hendrickson was there, but that was it. That was it. He got done dirty even in his death. It's like Suzuki hates the guy. What did he do to deserve this? I know he was kind of a jerk before, but he changed, and what did he do to deserve that? Even in death, he got made a joke of. He might as well be a meme at this point. a strong meme, but still a meme. He just got done dirty 3 times in the series, but that just translates to the whole series as a whole, because those 3 times were his most prominent appearances. And I know he was in Margaret's body, but his power level was still 201,000, and I'm pretty sure Margaret's body only made his defense weaker, not his offense, and his offense was the one that got made light of the most. His offense was the one that got done dirty. And even his character, as I said, when he died, nobody cared. So that's why Ludociel was done so dirty in this series, and I say this because I just want people to realize he's strong. The ways he lost were kind of plot armorish. There's no reason he shouldn't have been able to pierce the Cusack or fight against the Ender transformed Derriere and Monspeed. It makes no sense whatsoever. His power level should not be 201,000 if he's gonna be done dirty like that, and then when he dies, he's disrespected. Just so much disrespect for the guy, and I want to clear some of that disrespect up. Ludociel is a strong character. He was just done dirty. I know I've said done dirty so many times, but he was done dirty. Like, put some respect on my guy. And I know he's my favorite character, so I could be a little bit biased, but come on. I think this is facts, right? I don't think that this is completely anti-facts. I really don't. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I just want to say that I will be pumping out a lot of 7 Deadly Sins videos because I caught up with the manga. I really like it. If you notice, my profile picture is now half Marco, half Meliodas. That was a little bit of foreshadow on my part. I'm going to keep it at that for the time being. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, and only if you enjoy my content, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more 7 Deadly Sins content. And I will see you in the next video.